you're a graduate or non-graduate or training graduate, TESDA graduate, dapat hindi below minimum.
Opo,
I've
tama
been
yan.
fighting for that for the past 20 years na dapat binibigyan na dapat nasa minimum wage ang lahat ng mga trabahador natin.
Kita mo, ang hinahanap nila kagad is college graduate, even says lady. Kaya nga mismatch, yan ang sinasabi ni President, madaming mismatch.
Sir, hindi niyo ako nagigets eh. Ang sinasabi ko rito, regardless kung ano yung estado mo sa buhay, ikaw ay nakapag-aral kahit na hindi ka napakapag-aral, kailangan kung ikaw ay trabahador sa NCR, kung ano yung minimum wage na nakasaad sa batas natin, yun dapat ibigay. Sinasagot yung tanong po ni Senator Win Gatchalian, why do you allow your graduates na after landing a job, sila ay nag-receive ng below minimum wage? We have a law na dapat sinusunod, which is the minimum wage, right? So, inaamin nyo na merong mga graduate galing sa inyo na tumatanggap ng below minimum wage. And why do you allow that? Wala bang support na binibigay kayo na sinasabihan niyo po yung mga kumpanya na nagtatanggap ng graduates niyo, hindi dapat kayo nagbibigay ng below minimum wage sa mga graduates namin? Yun yung point ni
Opo, yung tama po.
Pakisagot lang, Sir.
Okay, Mr. Chairman. Tama po yan. Ang problem kasi natin in the Philippines right now, most of our employee is college graduate. Kaya nangyayari sa TechBog graduate, nagiging second-class citizen kami. If you go po the...
No, sir. Whether you're a graduate or non-graduate or training graduate, TESDA graduate, dapat hindi below minimum.
Opo, tama
I've been
yan.
fighting for that for the past 20 years na dapat binibigyan na dapat nasa minimum wage ang lahat ng mga trabahador natin. Whether graduate ka o hindi, whether TESDA ka, kung saan kang university pa graduate, dapat pare-pareho. Ba't kayo pumapayag na pinagmamalaki niyo pa kanina sa slides na mayroong mga below minimum wage graduates kayo? Huwag kayong pumayag, don't allow that.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. You're right. Kaya po ginagawa namin right now, nagigipag-forge kami, partners kami with the different enterprises, industry, so that they can understand that the graduate of the debate, TechBook, are workforce ready. Kasi yung mindsetting ng mga Pilipino here, yung mga enterprises natin, hindi pa ganun ka-accepted sa kanila yung mga graduate ng TechBook. Kasi sa dami na nag-graduate ng colleges, kaya kung makita mo, ang hinahanap nila kagad is college graduate, even says lady. Kaya nga mismatch, yan ang sinasabi ni President, madaming mismatch.
Sir, hindi niyo ako nagigets eh. Ang sinasabi ko rito, regardless kung ano yung estado mo sa buhay, ikaw ay nakapag-aral kahit na hindi ka napakapag-aral, kailangan kung ikaw ay trabahador sa NCR, kung ano yung minimum wage na nakasaad sa batas natin, yun dapat ibigay.
Yes.
Huwag mas bababa. In your case, TESDA kayo, train nyo yung nag-aral sa inyo for how many months or years, nag-train and all, and then nang pakawalan nyo, nag-land ng job sa tulong ninyo, at below minimum wage ang tinatanggap, pumapayag kayo? Dapat hindi.
I think to clarify what the good gentleman from Isabela and Davao is saying is that, do you have a control? Do you actually oversee your graduates after they graduate? When they land jobs, do you have any idea that they are working below minimum wage? Because that's illegal. Yun yung point ni Senator Raffy.
Mr. Chairman, wala po sa amin yan. It's under other agency.
That's right. Exactly. Kaya nga, so therefore, kung alam nyo yung mga nag-graduate ng TESDA, kung anong industry yun, na below minimum ang tinatanggap nila, then call DOLE. Parang DOLE magsabi, teka muna, graduate ng TESDA yan, ginastusan ng gobyerno yan for so many months and years, and yet tatanggap lang ng below minimum. Hindi pwede at saka illegal yan. First and foremost. Diba?
And considering DOLE secretary is the chairperson of the TESDA board.
Correct. Yes, sir.
Sense.
Hindi dapat po kayo pumapayag. Kahit na wala pang pinag-aralan po yung isang tao, talagang kahit na sabihin natin hindi siya nakatungtong ng grade 1, hindi ho dapat siya tumatanggap ng below minimum. Kasi yun po yung nasa batas natin. Lalo pat kung siya ay nakapag-aral sa TESDA, suportado ng ating gobyerno, binadyetan ng ating gobyerno for months or even years, tapos below minimum wage lang siya? Heck no! Dapat mag-urmentado kayo sa galit. Totoo yan, I'm serious. Di ba? Huwag niyo pong pabayaan.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
The fact
I
na
agree.
pinapabayaan nyo, monitor nyo pala na meron palang tumatanggap dyan ng below minimum wage na graduate ninyo, parang kinukonsinti nyo po pala. Diba kung graduate nga ng TESDA, kaya pala nahirapan ako makipaglaban na dapat wala ng minimum wage earner sa Pilipinas, siguro sinasabi nila, kung yung TESDA nga pumapayag, sino ka ba? TESDA nga pumapayag na yung mga graduates nila, tumanggap ng below minimum wage, ikaw Rapi Tulfo dyan, sino ka ba? Ganon siguro sinasabi ng mga ibang mga kumpanya. Please, sir, pakimonitor niya po. Ngayon, hanapin niyo po yung mga workers na nag-graduate from you, workers kayo kung saan industry, na below minimum wage. Call the attention of DOLE, and para DOLE would call the attention of those companies para itaas at gawing minimum wage ang kita nila. Will you do that? Will you promise us?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Gagawin po namin yan sapagkat right now, madami na kaming partnership with the Philippine Chamber, Philippine Construction Association, so lahat pag partner namin so that they can also be enlightened kung ano talaga dapat at anong meron sa textbook natin right now. They are workforce ready. And we can consider as very competitive na po sila. So, kaya namin gina-insist na talagang yung acceptance ng industry natin, talagang bawal yung minimum. Bawal yung below minimum. Kaya we're pushing for the minimum to up.
Minimum and above.
And above.
Okay, ito po Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Act.
And Rafi, sorry, but can we let them answer my first question because I'm still
sorry,
waiting
I'm sorry,
for
Mr. Chair. I'm
it's okay. Because I think this is very important issue as agreed upon by our chair of the Education Commission. One, you agree that whenever we produce graduates, 8 out of 10 are employed, but the employment is actually below minimum wage. And let's accept it. Hindi kalidad yung employment na nakukuha. Number two, that's you can contest my statement anytime. Number two, yung binabanggit ni Sen. Rafi kanina dun sa below minimum wage because or probably, correct me if I'm wrong, they are not in the formal sector. Nasa informal sector sila. But still, it doesn't excuse TESDA for not looking after them and taking care of them, no? Three, which is perhaps the most important part of our discussion, is where do we go from here? How do we ensure that either you improve your NCs, our national certification 1 and 2, so that they would be able to compete with the workforce and that they would land in a job wherein at least they could get a minimum wage. In other countries, for example, in Thailand, the level 1 in Thailand is level 2 or level 3 here. Level 2 in the Philippines. So, kaya paano tayo makipag-compete sa kanila in the workforce market? So, yun yung ginaguide ko na kayo how you want to attack or strategize paano bang gagawin dito. And we wanted to see because, again, if we don't do anything about this, same thing over and over again, going to be business as usual, wala ho tayong ma-accomplish. Pareho pala dito. It's going to be the same accomplishment as last year and last year and the year before. So I hope we can get something from the agency out of this very important issue. Thank you.
Makasing din, Mr. Chair. Okay, dito sa 8 out of 10 that were employed, 10 mga industry ito. Itong sa 8. Kasi wala pong breakdown eh.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Honorable Senator Tulfo, Mr. Secretary. We have a 5 priority sector, Your Honor. First of all is, of course, the agriculture sector, the construction sectors, the IT BPM sectors, the healthcare sector, and tourism. The reason why TESDA is now very aggressive in partnering with the industry and co-developing the curriculum of TESDA now. So, yung level po ng industriya ngayon, ang pinapattern na po natin, Your Honor, ang ating mga training regulations. In fact, Honorable Chair, under the apprenticeship program, 75% of the minimum wage as a trainee pa lang, part of their apprenticeship program, natatanggap na po to ng ating mga learners. They are actually industry immersion, sir. So kung ano po yung kultura, kung ano po yung mga modern equipment ng industry ngayon, and when they graduate, sir, almost 80% of our learners is being hired by those industry above minimum pay, sir. We are just talking about local employment here, Mr. Chair, this honorable chamber, but also 5,000 of OFW being deployed daily. Dumaan po sa test na yan. So from, let's say, 10,000, sir.
No, sir. Just give us the exact breakdown sa 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10,
Okay.
sir, as I mentioned, the 5 sa priority.
Agree. Ilang percent dyan sa agree?
Agriculture, sir.
So, ugan ko lang yung tanong ni Sen
Yes,
Tulfo. Dun sa 5 industry na binabanggit nyo, na tanong ni Sen Tulfo, na sagot ninyo, dun ba sa 5 industry na yun, lahat yun below minimum wage?
Definitely not, Your
Oh,
Honor.
exactly. So, hindi pala dun.
Yes.
So, mali din. Mali yung nagiging sagot sa tanong niya.
Okay, not
That's my
definitely.
point. Bali, wala lahat yung kwentuhan
kasama
natin
po kasi
because itong ang sinasabi ni Sen Tulfo na nai-employ, hindi rin naman dun sa 5 industries na binabanggit po ninyo. Because if they fall under the 5 industries that you're talking about, then they are not getting below minimum wage.
Exactly, sir, because we have the, as you mentioned, Your Honorable Chair, that we have also the informal employment. Ito yung mga graduate ng
Lahat yun informal, lahat yung
definitely,
below
sir.
minimum wage.
In construction alone, Mr. Chair, which is there's really a need and shortages, we partner with the Philippine Contractors Associations with 5
So anong industry po yung below minimum wage na mga graduate po ng TESTA?
Based on the survey, sir, we don't have control over those below minimum
Hindi
wage.
kasi
But we
kayo po
prefer
nagbigay ng
them
data na
to be a-
meron mga below minimum wage na graduate po sa TESTA na yun po yung natatanggap na sweldo after na makapag-graduate nga sa inyo. Ilang porsyento po doon at ano po mga industry ito?
Paliwanag mo. So our policy planning will elaborate.
Okay. Mr. Chair,
Kasi allergic po ako doon sa below minimum wage eh. Sobrang allergic po ako doon.
Mr. Chair, I can understand po fully well yung anguish over this particular matter. Ang nangyari po kasi when we had the survey, na-hit po yung mga nung time ng pandemic. Madami po, if not, I cannot naman po na they took advantage of the situation. But most, if not all, nung mga nag-graduates po nung time na yon, talaga pong inofferan sila ng minimum, in fact, lower than minimum, below 10,000 pa po. So yun yung result po nung survey namin. But that was during the pandemic, nung period na yon. Pero nag-increase na po, nakalagay na po dito yung 37.95%, naging between 10,000 to 19,000 na po, nag-increase na nung nag-pivot na tayo from the pandemic to ito na po. So medyo nag-improve na po yung because we were able to bounce back.
So wala.
Opo. So
So madam, so ayokong makarinig pa muli na meron mga graduate from TESTA na when they land a job kung sa mga industriya below minimum ang tatanggap nila.
Opo.
I don't want to hear that anymore.
yes,
Period.
Yes, Chair.
Pwede.
Yes, Mr. Chair, and we do understand po na tama po yung point nyo. In fact, that's why they were the Deputy Director General is saying, and the DG is saying, Secretary Mangundadato, that we are strengthening our partnership with the Personnel Management Association of the Philippines, yung pong PCCI, Philippine Chamber of Commerce, yung ECO po, so that we would be able to really provide po yung information na may mga competencies po ang mga tao, so they have to monetize the competencies ng mga skilled workers. Kasi po sa ibang bansa, yung mga nila, like in Malaysia, if we compare na daw po sa graduates ng higher education institutions, yung salary scale po ng mga workers or skilled workers, kasing taas na po So, ang mga parents din po, hindi na nila, di ba dati ang ano natin is that if you go to a TVET program, ayaw ng mga parents kasi ang mga Asian po, they want higher education. But because of the higher pay scales na binibigay na po ng industry, monetizing the competency of a worker, dun po nag-iiba na ang mindset. So, ngayon po, kaya kami nakikipag-partner sa iba't ibang associations para po part of the information and advocacy is to let them know that they have to monetize yung competency po ng tao.
Dalawang tanong na lang, kanina kasi nag-usap kami ni Senator Villanueva, nung panahon niya, ang dami pala siya napag-graduate at konti lang yung budget niya. Nung nawala na siya, panahon niya, konti ang graduate. Ano nangyari?
Sir.
Senator Alan po nagsabi nun, ha?
Okay,
Wala pa daw siyang conclusion
Hindi
sa
nga,
Rafi.
maliit ang budget na natanggap niya noon, and yet, ang dami niya napag-graduate. Ngayon, kayo, tumaas ang budget ninyo, nag-times, kumunti ang graduate. Anyari?
Sir, if I may, Mr. Chair, Mr. Secretary, actually just because of the capital cost of the amount of the course right now, during the time of the Honorable former Secretary of TESDA, now Chairman, in 2016, Your Honor, the per capita of our cost per capita is only 9,500. But now, in 2023, it's 20,600. So the value of the cost per capita is now 20,600, and ganun pa rin kaliit ang budget na binibigay sa TESDA. So mas lumiit, mas marami po nangangailangan ngayon na magkaroon po ng upskilling, reskilling, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, and the last question is?
Si
Oh, okay.
Senator Alan is asking me why it's more than double, no? More than double yung naging per capita cost. Is it because
The same as
but it's almost the same as
college tuition
almost the same as college tuition.
for state youth.
But the training program, is it the same training programs being implemented?
Sir, because of the supplies and material, the cost.
Hindi naman daw sa presyo ng bigas
Hindi naman.
value, okay.
Actually, tumutulong po tayo dyan sa programa na yan. And again, Your Honor, because of the cost of the learning materials and of course the electricity and
It's the same. Ang question ko nga, DDG, yung training program is the same training program being implemented before? Is it the same training program being implemented when the per capita cost increased?
No, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
Anong difference?
We have developed and modified and upgraded some of the training program. Actually, the
Some.
introduction.
When you say some, kasi yun yung gusto maintindihan nung ilang mga senators, especially Senator Alan's been
Yes,
asking me.
Your-
Sabi ko, some of his questions I cannot answer. So we wanted to find out the difference. Why it's more than 100% yung
Yes, sir.
increase. I think it's about the allowance.
Mr. Chairman, can I put context lang, no? Walang finger pointing dito. It's really a curiosity in finding a solution. Kasi 'di ba dati walang K-12. So dapat walang tracks doon. So pag out of school youth or kaya gusto mo i-enhance yung skill mo ala Germany na pwede ka na mag-apprentice kahit na wala kang diploma. Tama ma'am yung sinabi mo, di ba? The basic is that ang mga Pilipino gusto pa rin may diploma, pati yung sa employment mo between a super galing na electrician and some engineer with a diploma. Ang tendency natin without looking at their skill, yung i-hire natin yung may diploma, no? And then later on, pag nalaman mo na super galing tong electrician na to, siya nakakasolve ng mga problema sa opisina mo, you're willing to pay them more. But my point is, look at this context, ha. So before middle of Pinoy's time, walang K-12. So kung gusto mo ng skills, kailangan tutakbo ng TESDA. And then, wala pang scholarship nun sa CHED, pero meron kang katulad ng mga PUP na 5,000 lang, pwede ka na mag-aral ng 1 SEM, di ba? So ngayon, at 20,000 to be trained, and then ganun na rin halos yung tuition, tapos may hinihingi din yung DepEd. So I'm just trying to put it together. Baka nga kailangan natin ng hearing, Chairman Win, na magkakasama ang CHED, TESDA at saka DepEd para calibrate nung tulungan. But that's what I'm trying to put together, because all three, CHED, TESDA, and DepEd are asking for higher budget. And talagang gas at bigas, sabay tumataas ngayon, di ba? 9 weeks na ata yung gas, tapos yung bigas kung hindi pa nagkaroon ng EO, no? But the point is, pag masyado ng mahal at malayo yung babayaran mo sa skills training, mas marami din ang hindi na lang magpapatraining, di ba? Unless nga increase mo din yung scholarship. But then, ibabalik ko na naman sa bakit nila hindi natutunan yun sa elementary at high school. Nag-crowded na ba sila doon? Nag-half day na ba sila? Or whatever. That doesn't have to do anything with you. But if your cost keeps going up, one last point, no? If you're saying equipment sa training, I can accept that. Kasi kung dati wala kayong mga sasakyan, motor, garahe, dapat meron tayo nun, let's say sa automotive. But if you're saying equipment as in papel, everyone has a cell phone now eh. Diba? And then, isang bilihan lang TV for video sa cellphone ngayon. Pag PDF na, kasama sa training kasi yun, tuturuan mo na yung tao na dito ka na tumingin, hindi pwedeng panay, ewan ko nga sa Senate, bakit ganito pa kami, dapat panay iPad at phone na, no? But anyway, I'll leave it there. Again, it's not a criticism. It's an honest trying to figure out what will be the best balance between your bigger budget but a bigger output, then quality jobs, no?
Yes, sir. If I may, Mr. Chair, Mr. Secretary. Sir, noong 2016 kasi, if you remember,
Sorry, DDG, si Joel 2016 ka nga, no?
Apo.
2013.
13 to 16.
13 to 16.
Hindi ko na matanda.
No, he was TESDA
13, sir.
2013 to 2016, di ba? Oo. So, we're basically talking about, hindi, Pinoy's time eh.
Yeah, Pinoy.
2010. So we're basically looking at 2010 to 2013, 2013 to 2016, 2016
Pasensya
to
niyo
2019.
yung mga colleagues ko, masyado bilib sa akin eh.
No,
If I may.
ano lang, point of comparison
Hindi,
lang.
gusto nila, ibalik ako sa TESDA, maging assistant secretary daw ako.
Pwede naman kayo magpalit ni Sec, siya na ang majority leader. Balik ka sa test naman. No, but we're looking at 4 periods. 2010, 2013. Then, ang significant kasi sa 2013-2016, nag-K-12.
Yes po, sir.
Then, ang significant sa 26-2019, increased budget, maganda ekonomiya. Then, ang significant sa 2019-2022, pandemic naman yon.
Yes, sir.
Kaya mahirap talagang tansyahin yung kaibahan. So, we're really talking about 2022 to 2025, kung ano mangyayari dito.
Yes, sir. At if I may, Mr. Chair and Mr. Secretary, also on that, the questions of the Honorable sa Rapi Tulfo, Mr. Chair, during that time kasi, sir, wala tayong binibigay na allowance eh. That 160 from 60. So yun yung nakadagdag. Why we gave allowance now to our Tibet learners? Basically, because of a huge number of dropouts. So hindi na sila nagtutuloy kasi pamasahe wala eh. So what we did, Your Honor, we gave them allowance. We started at 60 pesos in, I think that was 2019. Then during the pandemic, we even gave more, not only the allowance, the PPE, the internet allowance, of 500, Your Honor. So nag-increase po tayo. Lumiit yung numbers of students, sir. So mas bumaba po ngayon, this Honorable Chamber, na kasi binawas na po natin yung PPE. So from 23,000 something...
Teka muna, after you gave them allowance, tapos mga benepisyo, lumiit pa yung number of students enrollees, dapat mas marami maengganyo kasi nagkakaroon silang allowance.
Sir, kasi we are constrained on a certain budget eh. So if you increase the number of costs, liliit
Okay.
po yung numbers.
I see. All right.
So this is the factor. And also we are basing that on the National Tax Research Center formula. Ito po yung nasa, of course, under the planning, nasa NIT SDP na po.